Hi everyone, how's it going? This is Gersher from Technical Option Traders Inc. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's get started with today's analysis and what's been going on in the markets here, okay? So the first thing that we have to focus on is the two time frames, and there's two different patterns that have been happening. One is this long-term pattern that we're seeing here, and which is a bear flag that's happening with a downtrend line. And also, if we look and go back, you see the multi-month trend line, which is right about here, seems to be the next target for the S&P, which is what I have marked at 356. Okay, so if this flag breaks here, we're headed towards 377, then 365, and then all the way here is 356. If we break this level again, or we go back and test it, we're going to be going down and breaking all these levels to the downside, possibly testing 335. Okay, so looking at what happened today. So a few things. First was market was undecided as to what it wanted to do. This is why I had this area marked. This whole area was volatile. As I was talking about over the past few videos, that we could be in a world of trouble if we don't pay attention to what's happening in the markets. With the VIX, the way it was reacting to the market going up and down, it was falling when the market was falling, which made no sense. So the correlations weren't there. All right, guys. So the first thing that I did talk about is 395 was an important level. I took a previous trade on it, which was from here. I took a stop loss right about there. Got stopped out. Okay, now once again it went back and broke 395 again. So I'm in a trade again. Once again, this is not financial advice, and nor should you be taking trades that I'm taking. But I'm just gonna explain the logic behind it. So multiple tests, unable to hold here, which gives me great confidence that this trade could work out in my favor for me. Right. So if I was to think about it, continuous tests over and over again, right? At the 395 level, that's something that we have to continue to focus on, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a break, and followed by a huge spike in volume to the sell side. That's something that we have to continue to look towards after a long-term consolidation period, and we're finally having a sell-off, right? And now, why is this sell-off coming? Because the information from the Fed wasn't positive. They could be possibly looking to do further rate hikes. They have used the term recession over and over again. So we have broken this downtrend. Now, obviously, we can go back and test the 394 level again and break down further, but it's looking like we're going to start to break down pretty consistently here. Okay, so the SPY looks very, very vulnerable here. We're breaking a three important support zone and a trend line. So according to SPY, what we want to focus on is a long-term picture as well. The long-term picture is telling us that we're almost breaking a weekly trend where this is a pivot level to the downside. So once again, this is a confirmation that this is a lower high here. So downtrend even on the weekly is holding. It's holding on the daily as well. So and on the daily we can see a huge gap down and a breakdown here. So it's going to continue to fall towards the downside. And we have 3 consistent sell days, so we can have a little bit of a green day before we continue to sell off even further in the market. So SPY is looking very, very vulnerable here. Looking at triple Q, if you guys have been following my analysis on triple Q, it's been very, very consistent with the fact that this area right here, the purple area that I have marked, this is important. As long as this area holds, we're going to see further decline in triple Q, right? And triple Q has been the hardest hit. If we just look at the weekly chart on triple Q, if you look at it, it pushed up, consolidated, broke down, head and shoulder pattern, and you guys can see a classic trend reversal here. Like even in previous times, it looks like it has further down move to go on the triple Qs. So we have to see where the pivot comes, and will it hold? Will we bounce? Right now, even on the weekly time frame, the triple Q is in a bear flag. So if this bear flag breaks, we are headed below 255, possibly towards 234, so which is the COVID high, and probably we could push lower, right? So as you guys can see, the last few weeks of green volume in triple Q were crazy low, and this is why I talk about you have to pay attention to the volume and price action before you make a determination. as if you want to, go long or go short, and what is the price action actually telling you. In this market that we have right now, you have to be very, very patient. If you are not patient, you will get burnt. And a lot of people that were speculating, the Fed is gonna tighten less or whatever the case may be, and they were expecting a Fed pivot. That's not happening right now. Even when a Fed pivot may happen, you guys will be surprised to know every time the Fed has pivoted in history, a market has fallen. So just looking at this, triple Q breaks this downtrend line here, we're going to head towards 269 or 270, and then below that we head towards 254. Okay, so right now it is possible for a quick bounce up until 285, but as long as this channel holds, we're gonna get and it breaks either side, it's gonna be a big move. If we want to go bullish, we have to wait for 315 upwards. If we want to go bearish, it's broken the support zone here, and now if it breaks this trend line, it would be a very nice move to the downside. All right, looking at IWM already breaking down. So this was a bull flag that was going on. It just got invalidated, okay? So bull flag invalidated right about here. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to watch and wait and see what happens here. So downtrend is broken, support is broken. An important support zone here. Below this, we are going to go all the way down to 170 and 165. So if we break 165, I think the bigger move comes below this because that's a multiple test. As you can see, the 165 has been tested multiple times here and here. So if 165 breaks for a test for a third time and it breaks, we're going to get a further move to the downside. And as you guys can see, the volume when the market was making an uptick was declining. Right on this up move here, we did have declining volume. So that's important to note. So when the volume is not consistent with the weight in the trend, you have to be very careful, okay? Because the reversal can come very quick and very sharp, and it can catch you off guard. Looking at Dow is starting to turn as well, just like the rest of the market. So we are going back towards here, and like I said, this is way too vertical. After consolidation, we're starting to see a down move starting to come. We're below 334. It tested this level at 331. Now the next level down is 327, but I expect to see some sort of consolidation before we come back down to 322. If we are going to break out, I would wait for 345 now before we get to the next level. All right, so looking at gold is also breaking down with the market, which is interesting. Gold and stock are usually not positively correlated, so to say. Okay, so but however, on the monthly and weekly trends, is holding up perfectly fine. This is the area I have marked 146 breaks. This whole pattern gets invalidated and gold goes into a bear market, but that's something we'll have to wait and see if it pans out. Right now, the market on gold looks all right. It's just a reversal, but this is a bearish candlestick right here. It is showing that we're going to break 163 and head towards 157. So we'll have to be careful and keep an eye on gold as well. So as you can see, this whole area on gold, which I will highlight, is populated with an important distinction here. We have rising sell volume. Okay, we have rising sell volume in this area. So this could tell us that gold may be getting ready to pull back further here. So this is something that we must keep an eye on. And also on this side, if you guys see the 2-year had a little uptick, the 10-year was flat. That's not something that we want to see. The other thing is VIX. Right, I talked about this. VIX is starting to consolidate once again in this area. We want to see VIX below 19. We want to see some sort of really big uptick if the market does have a free fall to determine that, hey, you know what, this is finally over, like I've been mentioning again. But if you look at the VIX overall, it's still in like a basing pattern almost, so it's still holding up decent in this little pattern here. So the saucer pattern. So if this breaks out, this could tell us that the bottom may be near, but that means there's a big crash that could be coming on the way. And if we look at the rest of the market, everything was down today. All the sectors except oil and gas. Oil and gas had a decent day, but overall, oil and gas not faring well so much. So overall, what I would say is the market is very, very, uh, you know, volatile, trade smart, wait for your level, be patient, don't take a trade just because you see something online. Have a plan and trade accordingly. See you guys tomorrow.